Okay, folks, today we're going to test this 1969 Chevrolet AM/FM radio. This radio is correct for 1969 models only and fits Camaro, Chevelle, Nova, and full-size models, so Impala. Real beautiful example. You'll see more in the pictures, but it's a real nice one. The 69 model radio is unique for a number of reasons. It came with this green tinted lens that actually has green tinted numbers, and the flip dial here has like a greenish tint to the numbers too, and that matches the speedometer and the fuel gauge and so on. So having the right one in there is really nice. Another thing is 69 model only came with this side mounted power plug. The later radios, so 70 to 72, had the power plug in the back of the radio. The 69 radio was also multiplex compatible, and what that means is if this plug right here is removed, a factory stereo multiplex adapter, which was an underdash unit, will turn this radio into a 4-channel stereo radio. So kind of a cool possible upgrade that you could do later. And then finally, 69 model year only had these curved rear cooling fins on the back of the radio, and that was for dash clearance. So certain models need that clearance, and those slanted fins are necessary for installation. Anyway, so this is the real deal 1969 radio. There's remnants of the tag on the side. It almost looks like the factory put a tag on here, which is a 91BFP1, which would be the correct model for this radio. And then they X'd it out and put another tag on top. And the tag was there that was on top, and it was like the same tag. So I don't know if the tag got like a little messed up or the bottom part ripped off or something, and they just put another one on top of it. But that is the correct model for this radio. So it's got like some glue over the top, but it's 91BFP1, which shows 69 Chevrolet AM/FM mono radio, which is what this is. Anyway, we're going to test it today. Let me tell you a couple things first. There's no knobs included with the radio. If you do need knobs, let me know. I may have some in my stash that I could make a deal with you on. But the knobs are the same as a AM radio. So if you're replacing an AM radio or another AM/FM that doesn't work or something, the knobs are the same, so they'll interchange over. Second thing, when we're testing this, my AM reception's pretty weak here where I live, and it's not a fault of the radio, but where I live. We're pretty deep in a valley, so the AM signal is weak from the center of the dial on down on the left-hand side. Once we get past the center of the dial going this way, you'll see that the reception gets stronger. So just understand that that's not the fault of the radio, but just where I live here. Anyway, we have it hooked up to a 12-volt power supply, the correct speaker, and an antenna, and let's test it out.
So there's our first strong station. Going to make sure that you can't do X, Y, and Z.
Are you seeing that at all? And how big of a problem is that? And how can
Boots and go to Utah, Montana, Wyoming.
30 days, the first 30 days of protection free.
Anyway, real nice radio. I'm sure FM is what most guys want to see, so we'll switch over to FM. Start at the end of the dial here.
Yep. I'm Kiana, and I'll be back here. To 60% off bedding and bath essentials.
Real nice. You see there's no crackling when you adjust the volume or anything. It gets super loud.
Star Rewards members can earn rewards even faster. Muy bien que cada quien haga.
¿A quién le importa lo que yo haga?
You are not against us, champion.
Steven Spielberg was promoting his new autobiography.
Anyway, awesome reception through the dial. I'll show you the push buttons work here. I've set them up above each individual push button, and then finally we'll show you how to set a push button. So let's say we like this station. You pick any button you want, pull it out, push it back in, and then no matter where we go, we can go right back to where we were. Anyway, a beautiful factory AM/FM radio. As you probably know, AM/FM radios were pretty rare back in the late 60s, and that's because there just wasn't a lot of stations out there, and it was a very expensive option. So for this radio, for example, you probably could choose getting the Rally Sport option in a Camaro, or getting this radio, or getting, I don't know what else it would be, but you'd probably choose a lot of other things like positive traction and power steering and all the other things before you would go for a radio like this, and that just makes them much more rare. And the fact that when the 80s came out and cassette players were around, and then the 90s came out and CD players were around, everything got chucked out and they got replaced with whatever was the current fad. So finding one today is a very difficult thing to do, especially in this awesome cosmetic and working condition. Anyway, if you've been looking for a factory AM/FM radio for your 69 Camaro, Chevelle, Nova, or Impala, you have found it. Don't miss it, guys.